morning and welcome to my presentation today. I'm going to actually fly through the beginning just so we can spend most of the time on active learning strategies later on. We're going to be playing a game later on today. I should have gone around to each of you and told you you're either cholesterol or blood. If you haven't heard from me, you're cholesterol. Blood people, you know who you are. So just keep that in mind, hold that in the back of your head. And you recall from my last presentation that I was talking about saturated fats and I was relating it to heart disease. Well, here's the presentation on how saturated fats contribute to heart disease. We're going to be taking a close look at what the mechanism is, how exactly these two are related. So think back, we talked about solid saturated fats, right? We gave a few examples about cheese, butter, animal meats, right, and huge and really, how does this connect to heart disease? Well, saturated fat and cholesterol are related in the following way. Diets that are high in saturated fat, and for some people cholesterol, create conditions in which these so-called solid fats lodge in our arteries and obstruct blood flow, right? So keep that in mind. We're talking about obstructing blood flow, and we're talking about this thing called cholesterol, right? So in order to fully understand how heart disease occurs, we need to look at what cholesterol is and what does it do. So, what do we know already about cholesterol? Talk to me. Anybody know anything about cholesterol?
Bad for you.
It's what? It's bad for you. Yes.
It's good.
Bad for you.
Cholesterol.
And it's good for you. Okay. Goes to your tissues, yeah? Goes to tissues. How about over here? All right, let's not get too complicated with the HDL and LDL.
Clogs your arteries.
Clogs your arteries, right? Okay.
Contributes to high blood pressure.
Contributes to high blood pressure. Yeah, we're going to talk about that today. Blood pressure. Sorry, my writing is not impeccable. Anything else that we know about cholesterol? All right, that's a pretty good start. That's a pretty good start. Hold on to that. Hold on to that idea for just a second. Cholesterol, in its very simplified form, is a hardening agent. Just hold on to that thought again. And it's primarily found in animal products. Just to give you an example, a typical steak has anywhere from 75 to 100 milligrams of cholesterol, whereas a carrot has like 0 to 5. So the more animal products you consume, the more cholesterol you are taking in through a dietary consumption. That said, our body also makes it. So it's not necessarily all through dietary needs. Our bodies have a way of making it as well. What does it do? Cholesterol. When we eat saturated fats, our body releases cholesterol as a way to package it up so that we can absorb and digest that fat. So consequently, the more saturated fat you consume, the more cholesterol your body releases to help your body digest those fats that you just consumed. So that said, is all cholesterol bad? No, we talked about, just previously in the graphic organizer there that there can be good cholesterol, and in fact we need cholesterol to a certain extent for optimal health because it serves the basis of hormones, it helps us absorb vitamins A and D, so there are certainly needs for it. That said, too much cannot be a good thing. Excess cholesterol can travel freely through the bloodstream and deposit itself as plaque. And remember, it's a hardening agent, so the more cholesterol that's freely floating around through your bloodstream, it can harden that bloodstream and it can block arteries, as Matt said. Over time, the plaque can obstruct blood flow and can lead to, depending on where the blockage is, if it's in your heart, you have a heart attack. If the blockage is in your brain, you have a stroke. That's the kind of basics of it. That's a lot of information to throw at you in like 2 seconds. Any questions thus far? Okay. Hold on to those ideas because we're actually going to be playing a game in just a second. So, if I told you are cholesterol, stand up and follow me. Or, sorry, if you're not blood, follow me. block it this way. Right? If you wouldn't mind being here as well. Oh, okay. Then would you mind also to review? And yeah, that's fine. That's great. The rest of you who are all wearing red, I need you guys to come follow me. Start here. So the object of the game is to get as much blood from your heart to your brain. We're all going to start on this side, team blood. And the object of the game is to get from the heart to the brain in 6 seconds, given all the cholesterol that's in the way. 6 seconds, that's right. There's a meaning behind that 6 seconds. So, are you ready? Is everyone clear on what's happening? Cholesterol, you can just block it, you can stand there, you can be super mean and like, then team blood, you're just going to try and get as much, each person's trying to get over there in 6 seconds. You ready? All right, ready, get set, go. 6, 5, Now, let's take maybe the 4 of you out of the picture. Why don't you come stand on this side? Let's have team blood go back to the beginning, towards the heart. Right, you get recycled through. And then let's try the same thing again. You have less cholesterol that's in your way. And again, 6 seconds. Ready? And go. All right. All fun and games aside, let's take a seat and let's talk about what this all means. All right, so the people who were in the blood, talk to me. What was your experience?
It was hard to get through.
It was hard to get through, wasn't it? Why?
There was so much blockage of the cholesterol.
Right, thank you.
Thank you. I learned so much.
So what made it easier for the blood to get through? What did we do towards the second part? We took out some of the cholesterol, right? And one of the ways that we can do that in real life is to cut our saturated fat intake, right? And last but not least, why do you think the game was set in 6-second intervals? Close. I actually was originally going to use the FCS hallway and 60 seconds, and then thought that that might cause a bit of a commotion out there. Your brain can last without oxygen for 60 seconds, and that's it. What the beauty of the blood is that it carries nutrients, yes, but it also carries oxygen. So after blood is pumping through your heart, it has oxygen that your brain needs. So if you go without 60 seconds without oxygen, your brain dead. So, by the way, I probably should have said this. Back there, simulation of a blood vessel. I don't think I ever mentioned that. But. So as a summary, our bodies digest fats by releasing cholesterol. So the more, logically, the more saturated fat you consume, the more cholesterol your body needs to release. However, too much can be a bad thing. Excess cholesterol travels through the blood freely and can deposit itself as plaque on blood vessel walls and can obstruct blood flow. Depending on where that obstruction is, it can lead to stroke, heart attack, not so pretty things. In the interest of time, I'm going to forego the video, but if any of you are interested, there's a video representation, plenty actually on YouTube. And we'll go straight into evaluation. List 3 examples of saturated fats. Examples of saturated fats?
Sorry.
Thank you, Maggie, for enthusiasm.
Butter.
Butter, excellent.
Yes.
Meat, excellent. How about one more?
Cheese.
Thank you. Favorites. Oh, fill in the blank. Blank is released to help digest saturated fats. What's the first part? cholesterol, thank you, and serves as a hardening agent, thank you. And then true false, higher saturated fat intake leads to lower cholesterol. False, that's right. And high cholesterol can possibly lead to heart attack and stroke. True, absolutely. Any questions? No? You know what, maybe I will show the video because I forgot I was out of time.
For most people, their internal cholesterol gauge works well enough to keep their cholesterol at a good level. However, if your levels of cholesterol are too high, LDLs will leave extra cholesterol in the blood. If the HDLs cannot pick up all of this cholesterol, it will begin to build up on your artery walls, along with other fats and debris. This buildup is called plaque. Over time, plaque can narrow the blood vessels, and sometimes this buildup may even block your blood vessels completely. Plaque buildup on your blood vessel walls is called atherosclerosis. A narrowed or blocked blood vessel can prevent blood from getting to where it needs to go. If the blocked vessel is in your brain, it can cause a stroke. Blockages can also happen in the blood vessels called the coronary arteries that carry blood to the heart muscle. This blockage process is called coronary heart disease, and the end result can be a heart attack.
So, pretty good summary there. Again, any questions? All right, I have a question. Oh, yes.
So how can you prevent cholesterol from doing that?
Decrease your saturated fat intake. And what you can also do, this is, I think, beyond the scope of this particular presentation, but you can increase what are called HDL levels of cholesterol. You saw, hopefully in that video, there were certain little molecules, compounds that were taking cholesterol down. They were actually removing it. HDL does that, and there are certain food sources that have higher amounts of that can help reduce your bad cholesterol. Yeah, what's up?
Even if you're genetically disposed to high blood pressure?
Yes, you can. I mean, it's a matter of ratios by that point of how much LDL to LDH you have. But again, I think that's a little beyond the scope of this particular presentation. Yes?
Do you know a couple of food examples that would do that?
Yeah, HDL, seafood tends to be very high in HDL, which is why people in Japan, for example, or actually a lot of Asian countries that consume more amounts of seafood or shellfish have lower amounts of bad cholesterol. Great. Thank you so much.